Really proud of our guys. That was not a very well coached or very well played game in certain spots, but we found a way to win. We've been telling them since we got here that our best was good enough, but less than our best probably wasn't. And tonight we took a step, in my opinion, because we played less than our best and still beat a really, really good football team. I told Coach Gundy after the game, I said, he's got himself one in that quarterback, man. That guy is very, very difficult to defend in that offense, and the way he can run the football. It's just, you try to guard Wallace, you try to stop the run with Hubbard, and then he's either running it or throwing it to somebody else. But was really proud of the defense for some critical stops on fourth down and the fake field goal, and the two guys that we really had to stop in Hubbard and Wallace. I thought we did an admirable job of that. Hubbard had 138 yards, but it took him 37 carries to get it. 121 yards, lost 17 yards, but it took him 37 carries to get it, 3.3 yards per carry, and a long of only 13. And then, Tylan Wallace had 5 catches for 83 yards and no touchdowns. So that's about as good as you're going to do against those two guys that are as good as there is in our conference. We've got to do, obviously, the punt return game was embarrassing. We've got to do a better job of coaching those situations, and I should have reminded Brandon. They want so badly to please, and we have harped forever at those returners to, if you can field it at all costs, because when that thing hits the ground, man, you could lose 20 yards of field position in a heartbeat. And but at that point in the game, I should have reminded him, hey, if in doubt, let the thing hit the ground, call Peter and let the thing roll around for a little bit, kill some time, and that one's on me, as well as the fourth down call, not the decision to go for it, but went to the well one too many times on a play that had been good to us the entire year, and should have known they'd be in a all-out cover zero blitz to stop that play, and I was disappointed in myself on that. But other than that, man, that's winning's hard, and we've been playing football for 8 straight weeks now, and we need this bye week in the worst way to hopefully get some guys healthy, and because we need it. On that note, Marcus Tillman right now obviously could not have returned to the game. Preliminarily an MCL sprain, but we're going to get an MRI to see if it was an ACL sprain. Jalen Green dislocated his shoulder, so we're going to get an MRI on that. Keandre Coburn went back in the game. Josh Thompson is going to be out for a significant amount of time, fractured his 5th metatarsal on his foot. Deshaun Jameson got a stinger, he returned, and then Caden Stearns came down awkwardly on that pass deflection in the fourth quarter, and right now his knee is still really hurting, so we're going to get an MRI on him. So hopefully we can get BJ and DeMarvion back for the next game, and we can minimize some of that damage there in the secondary. But we've got to get some guys healthy, get them rested, and make sure that we know we've got a 4-game stretch coming up, and then another bye week, and we've got to be at our best, starting with West Virginia in 2 weeks. Questions?
Tom, you mentioned the job you did on Hubbard. You take me through how you guys were able to limit him even as they continue to come at you with him, and especially the team's effort on the fourth down stop, which I know was critical.
Yeah, I thought that the game plan was great by our defensive staff. We were going to, in our base call, we were going to trap the corners, trap the nickel, and really kind of squeeze everything from the outside in, other than to Wallace's side. To Wallace's side, we were gonna double him, and so I thought that plan was well executed. I thought our front played really well and clogged some things up and made him have to bounce it to the unhatted guys, and we were going to put Chris Brown in that joker position. Got beat a little bit sometimes on some play action pass just because they are so good at running the football, but for the most part, really proud of them. And then the fourth down stop was critical.
Yeah, Tom, just with the guys going down and the defense, that was about as hard hitting a game as you'll see, especially into the fourth quarter. Just what were you hearing from the guys, even the guys who came out, went back in, like Roach and Keandre, just to keep going and getting it done? Yeah,
so there's a reason Malcolm Roach is a captain. I heard him a couple different times when there was some stoppage of plays. Dang near begging his teammates, don't do it for yourself, do it for each other. And that's, something that is learned. And when you foster an environment where your players love each other, they love the coaches, anything in life that is extremely difficult and painful and inconvenient, when you're doing it for somebody that you love and loves you in return, makes it a little bit easier. When you're doing it for yourself, you've got no shot. As hard a hitting and as banged up as those guys were, even the ones that stayed in, they were feeling that game for sure. And that's a credit to Oklahoma State, man. They brought it. But it was really cool to hear Malcolm literally echo the things that he had been taught for the last 3 years, and that's the sign of really good leadership.
Tom, on that onside kick at the end, was Chris Edmora, was he in there because of injuries, or is he normally on the hands team?
Nope, he'd never taken a rep at it. Okay. So never taken a live rep at it. Obviously, we get mental reps with our twos, but that's not something you spend a whole lot of time, at practice. But he was in there because of injury, and he did his job.
And then Montrell, what has he shown you over these past few weeks for you guys to entrust him with that much playing time tonight?
We started him, yeah. So, with the move to Josh to corner and Brandon to nickel, he was the next man up, and he did a really good job, and we challenged him all week. But at the same time, we made sure that he understood how much belief we had in him, and was really, really proud of him. Really proud of him.
Tom, you touched on it at the beginning, but just what do you think it says that you guys can win ugly? Because that's something that this program has not been able to do for a long time.
Well, we're probably that we continue to take steps towards being an elite program. The elite teams that I've been a part of could win ugly or could win without their A game, and we certainly don't want to make a habit of that because it will bite you. But if you are, I don't want to say looking for the silver lining in the cloud because we won the game, so I don't want to ever describe a win as a cloud. But the fact that we did win and we did pull it out with that many mistakes and injuries and missed assignments, I think there's a lot of obviously we can't live our lives like that. That I'm not advocating that by any stretch of the imagination. But if you do want to find a positive in it, is that we beat a really good football team. That was a team that went on the road all the way to the West Coast and beat a team pretty handily to start the season. And we knew that the challenge that they posed to us, and we were able to get the job done despite our mistakes. And again, we've got 2 weeks to learn from them.
Time for two last ones, Bob and then Kurt.
Just building a little bit off what Danny asked, with all the defensive injuries in the defensive back room right now between Montrell and Deshaun and even Chris Adamora late, how quickly do you need those guys to grow up and really, take on their roles, and how proud of you of the job they did tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I was extremely proud of the fact that, we were able to win the game with those guys in there. That their last touchdown drive, and let's make no mistake. I mean, the team had that offense, which was about as good as there is in the country, had 14 drives, and only 3 of them resulted in touchdowns. And they needed an unbelievable quarterback run on the last one to make that happen. So I don't want to diminish, the fact that our defense, we gave up some big plays, but we also kind of bowed our backs when our backs were against the wall. But that last drive, Chris Adamora was having a tough time even just getting lined up because they were, going so fast, and a lot of it was formation in the boundary, and it's like, and so short answer to your question is, we need those guys to grow up in a hurry and get in the experience they got today. I think we'll, expedite that process.
Did you consider the field goal on the 4th and 3 at all? That they stopped early, or what was your thinking? I
did consider it, yeah.
Yeah.
I know you guys are infatuated with the binder. The binder said anything under 6 to go for it. So I kind of listened to it a little bit, but we were playing pretty good.
Yeah.
It was an ill-advised call.
Yeah.
It was the right decision. It was a poor call.
And just beating Oklahoma State, they'd won 5 in a row here, and beating Texas 4 in a row. How big overcoming a hurdle like that?
We didn't talk about it at all during the week. I really think those are maybe important or attention-generating topics for our fans, but Chris Adamora has no idea. Those guys. Jake Smith doesn't know Oklahoma State from LSU, and so it's really, once the ball is kicked off, none of that matters. I think it's good for our fans, it's good for our program, but for us, it was just important to get a conference win.